Metal, back with another video. The topic of today's rant. I can tell in 2 seconds whether or not I'm going to take your metal opinions or not. Yeah, what's going on, guys? So basically, I was thinking about this, as you do when you find yourself at the center of a lot of metal stuff. You meet a lot of people, on the day-to-day. I've met certainly a lot of people, and I get to thinking sometimes, like, oh, I can tell real quick now, nowadays, whether or not I'm going to listen to this guy's opinion or if I'm going to just sit here and take it. Now, again, Buff Metal, what's the point of my channel? I like talking life and philosophy along with metal. So I hope, this video finds you well. And if you're guilty of any of this, I'm on to you, man. I know what you're doing. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. But the bigger point is, like, sometimes you find yourself talking to a metalhead, right? And this is one of those things where it's like, dude, if you come up to me and you immediately start dropping like, oh, did you know that blah, 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 blah? And did you know that blah, 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 blah? Because on this album, they did the production here, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I take it and I'm like, yeah, well, that's great. Nice. Yeah. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, but is it good? Can you just say, oh yeah, it's good. Check it out. Like when you are a full heavy metal dork, you know what I mean? When you are a full, like, oh, I know every detail about everything in this era. When you have someone ramble at you about information that is just like, dude, you know what my thing is at the end of the day? Did the album come out good? How about that, you fucking dork? Does it sound good? Does it rock? Do I want to drive around and listen to it and, go have a few drinks, crank it on the stereo and fucking go to town? Like that, if you tell me that, if you're like, oh man, dude, it's sick. That's awesome. I'm going to be like, oh, really? All right, maybe I'll check that out. But if you're like, did you know the production on there was done by blah, 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 blah? I'm like, get this guy the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, when you go full heavy metal dork twink on me, dude, I'm checking out. I ain't that guy. Dude, I basically, when it comes to albums, man, I'll take an album. I'll give it the listen. I will judge right on the spot, whether or not, oh, this is something I'm going to be into or not. And there's no need, like, this is why I don't watch reviews. And this brings me to our boy Quest for Metal. Let's talk about him for a second. He put out a great short the other day. And yeah, we were kind of chatting about it, where he basically was like, do we need album reviews nowadays? Do we still need that? And I was like, yeah, fuck, dude, no. No, dude, come on. Someone commented on one of my videos forever ago, bro, some of these album reviews are getting longer than the actual albums. And I'm like, yeah, bro, because people are just milking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They got no respect for the time of their audience, Like, there's a reason why I try and keep my videos about 10 minutes, man. One, because... yeah, dude, go listen to metal, man. You don't need to sit around listening to me for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever. I'm just here to give you a little something to chew on during the day. I like ideas, man. I think I heard this thing one time where people were like, ideas are the currency of the psychedelic realm. And I'm like, you know what? I feel like that's where my head's at. That's where I live. And that makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah, dude, I'm a big fan of just like getting ideas out there, talking about life, because that's, such is life. But the more important thing, especially with this channel and everything, is the metal. So yeah, I thought it was funny Questy put that out, because, dude, that's a big opinion that I definitely hold as well. Because, dude, I don't know, man. Like, is that really what metal is about? When you got into metal, did you want to be the guy who has to study the band's history, get to know the where it was recorded? I mean, and some of you might, and dude, power to you. Like, if you're really down the rabbit hole that far, then goddamn, bro. So two things: you've either been in the game so much longer than me that you like are at the point where you're like, yeah, man, I want to know about. And dude, no shame on your game there. That I will totally understand. Hold on, sip for coffee. Just straight black. You know how we do it. So yeah, you're either that, or two, you're a heavy metal dork, and I just, dude, it's not a pissing contest. Is that how you approach stuff in life? You know what I mean? It's the same thing I feel like with the gym. some of these guys, bro, they want to talk. They'll come up to you and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, bro, the eccentric and concentric contractions and blah blah blah," and you're sitting there and you're going, "Yeah, bro, how long you been working out for?" You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why are you even focusing on? Why don't you just have fun, man? Why don't you just go there, have a good time, dude? If you're not getting results, switch it up. Do it a little different. You know what I mean, dude? It's not that crazy, all right? Like, I don't think there needs to be that much of an explanation to shit all the time, you know? I think, dude, that's, you kind of suck the life out of it, in my opinion, man. I am of the opinion, dude, especially with bands, a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, where I'm like, I don't really care to know anything about the band. I don't want to know anything about, like, really a lot of the dorkier side of it. I don't know, man. I like hearing the product, the finished thing. And if I'm really interested, if it's really like a cult thing, like Blasphemy, you know, where I'm like, all right, well, that's like a legacy band and I'm just really into them. Like, then I will go down the rabbit hole a little further and I'll want to know what's going on because you know, because it starts going beyond music to me, you know. But if I was to do that with every band, if I was just to, like, you know, stop and want to nerd out and listen, like, I wouldn't have time to listen to metal. I don't even have enough fucking time to listen to my record collection and my CDs. You know, I have zero, you know, next to no time, you know, these days. And yeah, I know people probably think I'm exaggerating, but last night, bro, I had to listen in bed. Here's what I listened to. We'll talk about some music now. Check these out. Oh, dude. Right here, man. Black Magic SS Fast Speed. And we got Scarlet Desire as well. I much prefer Fast Speed, even though it's just a little EP. But, dude, yeah, man, these Black Magic SS albums, this little, it was really cool that they put out two. You know what I'm saying? These two little projects. But, yeah, man, I've been listening to these in bed. You know, as you can see in this space, and it's been looking trippy and stuff, you know, we get the lights going and the lava lamp and everything. And, dude, it's been an absolute blast. I love those two recent releases. And Black Magic SS, it's funny, man. I like their stuff now. I didn't like them when they first started, which is interesting, you know, kind of thing. Because usually everyone's like, oh, it's always the early material. But that's a band that's been a grower rather than an immediate shower, you know. And the other thing I've been listening to a lot at night, dude, just this, I've busted this out before. Tribute to the Black Emperors, the Mayhem Morbid split. I love the Morbid side, man. It's just so good. But by the way, I really wanted to talk about Fast Speed, bro. If you haven't listened to this, man, this is some of the best new like, well, it's Black Magic SS, but dude, it's I guess speed metal, but like, I don't know, man. It's a little chiller than that. Like, you'll have to listen to it and tell me, you know, like, it's definitely its own thing, and I'm a big fan. Different than pretty much all the other Black Magic SS releases. They find a way through a lot of these to, like, do something a little different, but like a little but it still has the aesthetic of the band, you know. And I appreciate that. But yeah, man. So I don't know. That's pretty much the end of my rant. You know, I just wanted to talk about the dorks in the metal scene. You think they can have ego or something because they you know facts, dude. Like, again, who gives unless you're a OG old ass dude, you've been there the whole time and you're not like 17 or something. Yeah, especially some of these young kids, you know, they seem to think that you know, the metal comes from like the knowledge of the metal or something, where you just want to be like, bruh, chill the fuck out. You having fun? Like, or are you just trying to like get points on other nerds? Is this, you're treating this like fucking Dungeons and Dragons, bro? Chill out. Have some fun with it. Tell me you lifted weights to it or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me that, like, just, how about this? It rules, it doesn't rule, all right? Fucking, is it really that complicated? We're talking about metal here, guys. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at being a dork, you know? But at the end of the day, man, I'm just talking shit. Tell me what you think.